It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego politico, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This one not the off in mind, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego die the politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. I miss you too.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today. Yes, it's going to be an interesting night as well, as always, right? But share the broadcast. Invite them. I've got something that will probably interest you. Yeah, try. It is the turn of the lawyers to cash out. It all started from the delegates. From delegates to INEC. From INEC now to court. But there is something that I want to say to you tonight, which I sincerely believe. You see, that worst day, post-election problem, crisis, riot, and all of that, that sort of enveloped the pre-election wahala, including the fuel scarcity, naira scarcity, and other scarcities in Nigeria prior to the elections that predicted a possible tension. I don't know if I should say it's quite over now. You know why? I will tell you tonight. Life is a teacher. As they say, the more you live, the more you learn. I am happy that so many of you Obidients who are first-time participants in the Nigeria traditional sham called elections. You needed this experience, and in fact, it is also going to help you in understanding why a lot of us said, as much as it is tempting participating in an election, that the rules are written by your oppressors, where you had no single say, is honestly expected never to be fair. But you tried anyway. You challenged the system. You shocked the system. Initially, we thought it was all noise. I mean, a lot of people believe that it was all noise, even though some still believe that now. I don't. But there's something I want you to know. You have proven that the establishment can be indeed vanquished. But it is just that using election or validating elections is a bit complicated. It is like participating in a game, and after you get rigged out of it, cheated, which is considered you losing out, fighting back is not going to be seen as you will think. And I'll tell you, they will call you sore losers even when you are publicly cheated. You have shown everybody that this guy's only structure in Nigeria politics is the violence, state capture, institutional corruption. That's all they need, and that's all they mean. However, it seems to be the turn of the lawyers now. You are not going to protest. Political revolution is crushed again. Revolution is what we need. We need the revolution to get out of this mess. No. We don't want revolution. We need political revolution, which indeed your movement represents. Now, this is not to chastise you, okay? I'm on your side, by the way, and I'll tell you why. Because you took Nigeria establishment to the cleaners. Today, even ordinary little boy or girl can tell you with facts how corrupt Nigeria election is. The winner, or the one that many of you are going to say, not my president, no, not my president, and all that, has already lacked legitimacy. However, it is not how Nigeria works. Nigeria is a crime scene. All win now win. And that's exactly what it means for the establishment. Going to their courts simply means you still have to dance according to their rules. Talking about experience. In 2019, there are many of your uncles right now, aunties. Okay, I'm not talking to you, the first-time participants now. I'm referring to those your senior ones who participated in 2019. My dear, INEC of Nigeria made rules, publicized it, and did so many PR. When the election came, they changed it. They were paid over 80 billion naira. They said they were arranging something called server. Listen to this. So 2019, it was so popular. So they introduced what they call the fingerprint or something to check your card when you are voting. Everything sounded so like, well, rigging is not going to happen. But guess what? There is no rigging that takes place in Nigeria that doesn't include or involve the INEC. It is the INEC that rig election in Nigeria. Every other drama you see around, right? That is why they say it is not those who actually vote that really count. Now those where they count your votes, now them decide which votes actually count. So they built a server. Election was to be transmitted into it so that if anybody feels like they've been cheated, all you have to do is to go to court, ask court for a warrant so that you can access all of the data inside that data bank. They called it server. I don't even know why they called it server. Anyway, that is where they were supposed to store all of the valid votes casted in an election. When they got to Supreme Court, they called INEC as a star witness. INEC, in your own server that you said you have, we want you to present it as evidence in court. 80 billion server. INEC boldly said they had no server. No server, no server, server, no server, server, no server. That was where Tanko technicality, Babala Wayfair, the Sharia court that they made the Supreme Court Chief Justice of Nigeria said, based on technicality, because of technicality, they cannot cancel the election. Therefore, Boko Haram has won. That was the end of the story. I am telling you this story because it is Nigeria, where your evidence doesn't really matter. It is the interest and the mood of the owners of Nigeria that are already aligning behind the man that Atiku said stole his votes. Peter Obi said that stole his own votes too. And they are going to court to challenge him until you get there and realize that half of the justices at the Supreme Court, one time or another, maybe when they were judge of a court or somewhere in Lagos, Kolu has already gifted them choice property or choice land in choice areas in Lagos, expensive ones, and they hold him. Now, when you get there, you realize, and you will tell a lot about all of them too, how corrupt they are, but you're not going to be able to do anything. I'm coming. So they nullified the whole thing. They said, well, it's true that the election was not perfect, but nevertheless, it's not enough to say Boko Haram didn't win. That was the end of the story. INEC publicly lied to you, deceived you. I said that they cannot be trusted because they are not going to make rules that are going to punish them or take power away from them. And you said, let them rig us out first. They will see what will happen. Unfortunately, as much as you would love to show how angry you are and take it up with them, for participating, you have implicated yourself, and then they can easily charge you for treason, roll out their soldiers and start shooting and killing you, jailing and the rest of that, even arrest your presidential candidate. It is Nigeria. It's a crime scene. When I tell you that, don't think it's not possible. It's Nigeria. The INEC chairman went on a sort of a campaign explaining that, all that stuff. However, that changed. It changed. And today, Atiku and then Obi, they are going it separately. In fact, Atiku said that Kolu, it's not only Kolu that stole his votes. Obi contesting, in fact, made them lose all that votes to Labour Party. So it would have been 12 million for Labour, for PDP. And he also said, it was considering making Peter Obi his vice president before Peter Obi, out of impatience, left to join Labour Party. If he had waited, he would have considered him instead of considering Okowa. Okowa that invested almost 300 billion naira, Delta State money, is actually not even the first choice of Atiku. Anyway, without wasting much of your time, right? There are more than that, okay? Today, the Supreme Court of Nigeria said that Emefiele must be thrown under the bus. Expectedly, yeah? They are now blaming Emefiele for the Naira redesign, as well as the Naira policy, the scarcity, and everything that happened before the elections, concerning Naira and all of that. Emefiele is about to be thrown under the bus. As the Supreme Court says, your old notes and your new notes should remain legal tender till December 31st, 2023. The reason is because the policy is fine, but the implementation is awkward, and it has created hardship. So that means that Bokwari, whatever the game was, somebody said the damages has been done. No, it's not done yet. They are not done yet. Immediately they left the court, right? El Rufaya of Kaduna came out and said, well, we appreciate the fact that the Supreme Court has set the whole agenda clear now. However, we just want people to know that we have defeated them. We defeated them because PDP was the reason why Emefiele changed Nigeria money. Said PDP was the reason why Emefiele decided to make old notes illegal. And Emefiele misled Bokwari to approve that idea. That's what they have figured out. So, for all of your sufferings, maybe Emefiele can finally be handcuffed at last. I mean, let me take you to that Supreme Court before we come back to those who are going to courts. Inside that court today.
You are more than surviving. You are more than I just came back with all right.
So let's go outside the court, okay? This video, the credit for this video goes to the Viable TV. You can see them on YouTube and everywhere, right? Let's hear what they have to say outside the courtroom.
Today is a day of happiness for all Nigerians. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has given us all the reliefs that we sought for by a very unanimous judgment. The full court of 7 justices gave a unanimous judgment, 7-0, that all our prayers to the court have been accepted. This is a victory for Nigerians, because this policy, which was designed and targeted at a political party and its candidates, has brought untold hardship on our people. This is why the 3 of us took a decision to come to the Supreme Court. We are APC members. The President of Nigeria is from the APC, but we disagreed with him on this policy and its implementation. And when we tried everything to settle this behind closed doors, we had no option but to come to the Supreme Court. We are very grateful to the court for its unanimous decision and the orders it has given to the government, federal government of Nigeria, to ensure that from today till the 31st of December 2023, the old Naira notes of all denominations shall continue to circulate side by side with the new Naira notes. That's the major decision of the Supreme Court. The other decision is that the policy of currency confiscation, where you deposit money in the bank and the bank chooses what to give you, is unlawful and illegal and shall end forthwith. So Nigerians can go to the bank and collect whatever they have deposited and get on with their lives. Those that said that we went to the court because of elections are wrong. We went to the court because our people in our states are suffering and businesses in our states are coming to a halt and lives were being destroyed. That's why we went to court. We left elections in the hands of God and we all know the result. Even though this policy was designed to ensure that we did not win the presidential elections, we have won. But the policy must go because the Supreme Court has now decided that it was unlawfully conceived, it was unlawfully implemented, and the Supreme Court has extended the legal tender status of all our notes, old and new, at least to 31st December. And if before 31st December we feel the need to come back to the court, I will not be a governor then, but these two, by the grace of God, will still be governors. They will come back to the Supreme Court if we need to extend it further. But we hope that will not be necessary. That is all I have to say. I would like my colleagues who started this reform journey with me, because it's not rebellion, it's reform. We came to the Supreme Court to make Nigeria better. And by this judgment, no future president or central bank governor can come and announce a policy that ambushes the lives and the livelihoods of the Nigerian people anymore. We are very proud of what we have done, no matter what people say about us. So I would like to ask my colleagues, Governor Yahaya Bello, to add to what I have said, and Governor.
Secondly, this particular decision today has laid a solid foundation for our incoming president, the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to start and cruise on a solid foundation. This particular decision today has proven that Nigerian law is a respecter of no one, including Mr. President. Nobody can take the laws for granted and go scot-free. This is what it has proven today. I congratulate Nigerians. I congratulate the common man. And I sympathize and condole those that have lost their lives in this struggle to ensure that they earn their livelihood. You did not deserve it. And that is why our leader here, Governor El-Rufai, myself, and Governor Matawale, and all other governors, including some PDP governors, especially the governor of Rivers State, Sokoto and Abia. That is Governor Wike, Governor Tambuwal, and Governor Ukpeazu. You know, we all jointly come together to make sure we save our people. And today, Nigerians can have their lives. We appreciate all, and we appreciate the media for the role you have played in this struggle. You ensure that our struggle
been going on since 7 a.m. As I speak with you, sources say the warehouse has not gone off. Palliative that were supposed to be given to people during the COVID-19 period was hidden away in a warehouse, and Nigerians were dying of hunger and starvation. Look at this man struggling to survive. Look at him. Something that is supposed to be brought to his home. Look at it. You mean
is fully loaded. The warehouse is fully loaded.
Can you imagine?
Nigeria has more than enough.
Nigeria has more than enough. The Navy has collected their own. The armies have put their truck, collected their own. Immigration, custom, last man. And the warehouse has not gone half. The warehouse has not gone half. The warehouse has not gone half. Palliative for the poor. Stored away. This is October 21st, 2020. Palliatives that were supposed to be shared in May were stored away. Some of the products are even expired. Look at how people are struggling.
They are not expired though. 2021,
no,
2021.
You see?
Never expired. 2021,
you see? See people are struggling. You see? You see? Look at it.
I saw another way I'll see there by Keja. Another
Look
one
at
by
it.
Keja. Lagos State.
Look at it. Not for sale. Not for sale. They stored it. Look at it. Not for sale. They stored it. Wait. Let me see the pack. Now see. Look at it. COVID-19. Not for sale. The poor are suffering, and they stored it in a warehouse. Look at people passing through canal just to survive. Hunger in the land.
A sachet of packet tomato, 120 naira.
Look at people struggling to survive.
We are suffering.
Look at people.
Bag of rice, 40,000 naira.
Come to our aid, though. Ego has come to our aid, though. These people are looters.
So talking about fighting for the people. We all know why they went to the Supreme Court. We all know why they brought their chip on you. We just don't know. We just don't know that they are living in their own different world, making themselves believe that they are actually doing all of this for you. Anyway, that was 2020. Something just made me want to, I just remember that, talking about people saying they are fighting for you and all of that. However, let's come back to that their election, because that's the rider for this broadcast. It was the same INEC chairman, right, who said this just few days before your elections for the diary.
Only last week, we commenced the training of master trainers on election technology to ensure a seamless process. Beginning from tomorrow, we will commence the same training at zonal level and subsequently train all the ad hoc staff for the 176,846 polling units nationwide. On this note, let me once again reassure Nigerians that there is no going back on the deployment of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, or voter accreditation. There is no going back on the transmission of results on the INEC result viewing portal, the real time on election day. There will be no incident form that enables ineligible persons to vote using other people's permanent voters' cards during elections. We are committed to ensuring that the 2023 general election is transparent and credible, reflecting the will of the Nigerian people. The critical foundation for credible election is the voters' register. You may recall that the CVR, which started on the 28th of June 2021, lasted for 13 consecutive months until its suspension on 31st July 2022. During that period, the Commission gave Nigerians regular weekly update showing the progress of the exercise nationwide, including analysis of the distribution of voters by age, occupation, gender, and disability for our planning purposes and for public information. At the end of the exercise, 12,298,944 Nigerians successfully completed the registration as new voters. All along, we have repeatedly assured Nigerians.
Anyway, So one of the arguments of the Obidients is that if over 12 million people struggled, suffered to register and get their voters card, why would anybody believe that these 12 million people are not ready to also vote too? And if in your last election you had about 30 million people who participated in your elections, right? How come with extra 12 million, how come the people that participated in this one are now like 23 million or 22 million? The number, not the number, the numbers are not numbering anymore. Anyway, this is me taking you to their press conference after the elections, okay? Obi said he has evidence that he won and he will prove it in court. Atiku said he has evidence that he won and he will also prove it in court. But what is kind of surprising is that Atiku, Kwakwanso, and then, Atiku and Kwakwanso, they are now saying that they are ready to join Obi to reclaim their mandate from APC. But according to the INEC results, Kolu scored 8.6 million or thereabouts. Atiku scored 6.9 million. Obi scored 6.1. So Obi is third. But I will let you listen to their presser, like both sides. Let's go to that of Obi, which happened to be the only person that I know of after their election who actually gave sort of a minute remembrance, a minute silence to those who lost their lives, those who were injured, families and all that during this whole election, you know, that kind of a part. I don't know if it's part of this, but let's go to his presser, which he gave yesterday. Let's watch.
Rest in peace. Amen. May their families be consoled and God grant them the fortitude to bear their irreplaceable loss. Amen. May all those who have injuries, sustained one injuries, or had one loss to the other, may God grant them quick recovery and also compensate for their losses. Amen. Amen. We pray to God the Almighty to continue to bless, protect our dear country, Nigeria. Amen. Amen. Again, my dear people, let me again correct one impression, because I've seen some people saying in the media that I released one news or the other. I have never, directly or indirectly, spoken or released any message since after voting on the 25th. My last comment in the media was immediately after voting on the 25th, and I've never done so until now. So whatever you see in the media, please disregard. It's not coming from me, directly or indirectly. This is my first time of speaking, coming out to the media, and I thank all of you for your understanding. For me, it's a very simple thing, is to speak to Nigerians who on the 25th of February trooped out en masse as committed citizens to participate in what all of us know as what are called existential election for supposedly free, fair, credible presidential and National Assembly election. We enjoy, and in all things we give thanks to God. For me, number one thing is gratitude. Gratitude to God Almighty that continue to protect and bless our dear country, Nigeria. Number two is gratitude to Nigerians that participated in the election, answering the call as true citizens in our dear country. Number three is gratitude to those of Nigerians, especially the youth, that believed and worked tirelessly for a new Nigeria and trusting that new Nigeria on that thing and my good self. I thank them for their hard work. Gratitude to the Obidients, youths, those who believe that a new Nigeria is possible. And I say to them that a new Nigeria is possible, and we'll work for that new Nigeria that is possible. Their resilience, their hard work for a new Nigeria should not be wasted.
And it should not go to waste. I mean, you won't believe it all. Millions of people glued to their screen because they're waiting for his broadcast yesterday. I got to the part where he was being asked questions about what's he going to do and all of that stuff. Let me take you to that part so that, you know, we can save time.
Have you spoken? Have you reached out to the man that has been declared winner for Tinubu?
Well, you did ask me the process and the areas. If I tell you all this, I don't know what I'll be telling the court. We have passed the stage of that because we were asked to go to the court. Isn't that what it said? It said so. So let's go there. Remember that I'm obedient. I want to tell you, I'm going to go where I'm directed to go. And then you will see where and how. But just to give you an emphasis, in 2015, the number of registered voters, if I can remember, is about, what was it again? About 67 million registered voters and 29.4 voted. In 2019, that tally increased to about 84 million. And about 28.4 million voted. And then we were told that about 11 million registered in 2022, if I'm correct, which brought the registration to about 95, but 87 collected their PVC because of the issue of not being able to collect their PVC. But only 23.3 million voted. You can see how Nigeria works. So we have an increase of 11 million. And the voters dropped sharply by over 20%. instead of increasing. The reason it was due to manipulation and reduction and removal and inputs of votes here and there. Because otherwise the number is supposed to have increased. It didn't increase. Because people were busy doing what is wrong. And we have chosen, I will challenge this rascality for the future of the country. Nigeria cannot conduct election 63 years after independence. It's something everybody should reflect on. Unexamined life is not worth living. And we can't go on like this. Shehu, you asked about the alliance. We are not in alliance. We are discussing and in partnership with other people and any other Nigerian who feels hot as we do. I've said it and I repeat, I have all my life challenged a process than what they do thereafter. We must not have people who have the moral authority because of the process who come into it. So if we use the process we use today, tell me how we can tell the train robber, the kidnapper.
I work for Al Jazeera TV. My question is just about the judiciary. You're going to court. They've been concerned about observers and political experts who say that for you to be able to reclaim a mandate that you said has been taken from you, you need to prove abundantly enough that the suppression, voter suppression that has been alleged, the violence and everything that happened on Saturday was enough to sway the votes in your direction. So do you have abundantly enough evidence to do so?
Well, let me again say it. We're not yet in court. That is why the court exists. And they've asked me to go to court. And I want to go to court. I don't want to answer questions on my way to court. I want to go to court.
Okay. All right, Tomo, come. I wanted to travel this way, but I see you are... Okay.
My name is Omo Bazoy and I report for AINEC, Arise TV Search. I just want to ask you, because you told us some moments ago that you have been having series of meetings with a lot of people, people from the international community, and maybe back home here in Nigeria. Do you feel like you are under any pressure from anywhere?
Not at all. I can tell you, nobody will ever put me under pressure when I challenge misconduct, rascality, or illegal process. Because it's not about it's not about, you can't, how do you put the person who is doing kidnapping under pressure? We're challenging what is wrong. It is not about me, it's not about you, it's not about it's about the society our children will live in. And I want people to understand that. I'm challenging a process that is fought, a process that is wrong. It could be anybody. It is not about anything. So there's no pressure. Nobody has. And they know they will not.
Okay, the lady at the back here. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rena Obozegi. I work for Dark Communications AIT. So I want to ask you, how are you engaging the international communities on the outcome of the elections?
Thank you very much. Now the real AIT, not former AIT.
Quite frankly, I'm not unless on invitation, I'm not engaging any international community or international body, because I feel this is the Nigerian problem. And this is time we have to start solving our problem. Elections have been conducted in all parts of Africa. And nobody have ever seen something near what we're going through here. So I'm not consulting anybody.
Okay.
It's a long chat. I could only show you just a part of it. Many of you have listened to it already, okay? But just for the context of this chat. So that was him answering question from the press yesterday concerning a step. And then today, there is already... Oh, hang on. Where did I leave that? Oh, no. Have it on the screen. I'll bring that back up for everybody to see, okay? So he already filed his request through a court today, asking the court to give him access, or sorry, to order INEC to give him access into all the results they announced. Prior to that, yeah, the Obi and his campaign, the Obidients, they've already opened their own situation room where all of the results across Nigeria, including the votes scored by the PDP and APC, have been collated. So they want to compare with what INEC failed to upload by following their own law. So at the end of the day, it will be a legal battle where billions and billions and billions of your money, I would have to go to the lawyers. That first court paper you have, I put on your screen earlier, that was 6 or 7 state governors are challenging. They went to the Supreme Court to tell the Supreme Court that they should cancel the president-elect Tinubu. He didn't win. They should cancel this. Yeah. But this evening, before we started this program, the same people, they've withdrawn that case. So it's irrelevant as we speak. So they want to compare Obi. I remember they are like asking everybody, all of their agents, when they tell you that they had no agent here or there, right? It could be part of their propaganda. Let me tell you what the data says. They have 176,800 polling units or thereabouts in Nigeria. And you have to have agents in all of them to represent you so they can sign your election result and all that. So what happened across Nigeria during that day was that before the day, as you can tell, as you should remember, right? The Obi, Labour, SDP, ADC, any other one, they all merged, which gave them an advantage that gave them even bigger and then a wider spread when it comes to the polling unit agents across Nigeria. I mean, ask yourself, if they made a deal with SDP and SDP, right, went on to defeat the APC party chairman at his own senatorial district, does that not mean that they are as deep as that place, right? So when everybody went into the election with their own agent and all that, this Obidients went into the election with over or nearly 500,000 polling unit agents across board. Well, they still got rigged. You get what I mean? So they managed to get all the results they needed, and they know that what INEC is announcing, they are absolutely fabricated. In fact, somebody was like explaining how the rigging was done, like in context, explaining that this is how it went, this is how it went. You know, if they have been like uploading the results as they are announcing them at the polling unit, you will be shocked. Technological rigging, right? We're going to go to Atiku's presser next. He has something to say about Peter Obi too.
3 servers, okay.
Yeah. The first one is where they host the website. The second one is where the beaver data is stored.
Okay.
The third one is the intermediary, is the link between when you collect data and you want to upload to the website.
Mm-hmm.
That's the third servers. Now, this is what happened. They switched off the two servers, the beaver server and the intermediary server. They switched it off. Now, once they switched it off, because I thought they logged me out of the system because I was like, how great hacker that.
How did you know this though?
Because I can hack the system.
Okay.
I'm a software engineer. It's literally not that hard.
Okay.
So I thought that there was actually someone better than me, because initially, truth be told, APC came to meet me and told me, can I help them to like win the election on the beavers? And I told them I was not interested.
Okay.
So and I suspected they were going to get someone else. And there's one more person that I could suspect that like he's also on my level that could do it, but he told me that he's not interested. So like he didn't do it.
Okay.
So like I now thought that I thought they found someone else. So I was monitoring the servers out of due diligence.
Yes.
And I realized for some reason I could not log in. And I thought that they logged me out, or by some miracle we had a very serious cybersecurity team, but that's not what happened. They switched off the server. You cannot connect to something that is offline. So when I found out they switched off the server, I now realized that okay, they switched off the server, but what is going on? Then I inspected the space. It turns out that the space is being consumed without any data being imputed online. So that means someone is manually imputing data.
Imputing the data, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just like buying data, and you left your phone in the house and you have roommates and you have not touched the phone, but you just realize that your 16 gig has finished. So that means someone used it empty and store your data. That's literally what happened. That is literally how they rigged your elections.
Wow.
For somebody who said that is lying, let me explain the practicability of it and then relate it to what happened. Apart from late arrival of the voting materials, as well as inadequate or misprinted ballot papers, which are deliberate as well, whenever, for those who finally voted, they started struggling to upload their results everywhere. We can't upload results. What happened? Go offline. Go back to the back end and upload. No. People were beaten up. Coppers were beaten up in some part of Nigeria because they couldn't upload the result and they are not letting them go. All of this, they believe that somebody switched the back end, the back end server off to ensure that you won't have a way of accessing the site and do what you have to do, what their law says you should do. So if you think he's lying, well, that's all right. I mean, you probably have other information that some of us don't. But let's work with that, because the practicability of what he said is obvious. And there are evidence of those who said they couldn't upload anything. Yeah? Until when people started seeing images of people, images of houses, as a result of their polling units. Have you checked them out? It's been almost 6 days now after your elections. And guess what? They haven't still uploaded all of the result of the elections on the website of INEC. So people are now asking, where did INEC get all the result they announced? I think that's what Atiku is also asking. Unfortunately, it seems to be late. I don't know. Let's go to the Atiku's presser. In fact, there's somebody I want to tell you about before I take you to the Atiku's presser, because it's also a long stretch, okay? Do you remember this guy? Hang on, let me bring him on. Do you remember this guy? I think he's the Nigeria House of Representatives leader, the leader of the house. I think his name is Adodo Gua. Okay, in case if you don't remember him, all right? His recent outburst, one of his numerous outbursts that are completely, out of space, right? This guy who said Emefiole is denying him 70 million naira that the constitution said they have to give to him for the elections. And he said that would be a problem, right? Yeah, it's the same guy, Adodo Gua, who is very proud that he's got 4 wives. Okay. And he has 28 children, or 29 now. And he said that if Nigeria break up, where did Biafrans want him to take his children? If Nigeria break up tomorrow, where do they want him to take his family? So we are not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. We stay together. We die together. So the last time where Dogua was out, I'm still going to tell you what happened to him. Some of you know already, yeah? Well, remember this.
Political office holder to take during campaign to use. A member of the House of Representatives is expected by law to have not more than 70 million naira to conduct his elections and whatever, logistics and other things. 70 million naira. Cash. By law. Yes. A presidential candidate, for instance, needs to have how much? About 5 billion or 1 billion. 1 billion for presidential candidates. At least the law has provided for us the amount of money we need to oversee our election process. You need to pay your agents in the villages where you don't have ATM machines, in the villages where you don't have POS, in the villages where absolutely you don't have this new naira. So this is money that I require, that the law has permitted me to have 70 million naira as logistics for my election funding. I need to have this 70 million naira in hard copy.
In cash, you have to pay me, give me that. Emefiole, you need to give me that 70 million naira. I think they gave him, okay, but maybe not in naira, okay. And if some of you are wondering, what is he talking about? Why did he need money? No, they are not just going to pay the agent. They're going to pay INEC agents too. Do you get what I mean? Something like this, in case if you don't understand.
Bari miki biti wajen. Ya number. Nasa.
65. I'm sorry. I was laughing there because I was like, why majority of you are speaking grammar and the rest of that? That's how they conduct elections, mostly in northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria. That's how they conduct elections in Nigeria, generally. When they talk about rigging and all of that stuff, logistics, we need to pay our agents, we need to do this or that. And, you know, I mean, come on. A lot of them do that. Here you get. Now, let's go to the presser, where Atiku claims they robbed him too. Let's go.
Against dictators. During the military regime, it nearly cost me my life again and the near destruction of my businesses. In a civilian.
Slow down, slow down. I told you, I said I was going to tell you a story about him. Yeah, he got his money. After getting the money, he paid his agent as expected, I believe. But something happened. He has been arrested for murder. And it's not just any murder. Are you with me? He's been remanded in prison as we speak. And he is also the House of Rep elect, even though they will release him soon. So don't kind of feel like justice finally. No. Calm down. You know what he did? He went to his constituency And I think he faced some level of pushback from unexpected areas. They didn't vote for him. You know what he did? He went back there, rounded them up. Hello? He shot 2 people himself using the gun that belongs to his own policeman, police security detail. A security detail, a policeman. He took his AK-47, shot 2 of the people they rounded up. Another one, they set 12 of them ablaze in a house. They put people inside the house like that. And they set the house ablaze. Almost, the crime was so huge that they couldn't just let it go. While the rest are celebrating Kolu, the guy is waiting for Kolu's call in prison for murder. A murderer is also going to the National Assembly to make laws that will stop killings, murdering, and crime. Abi, they play. That's him being taken to prison. The court said that they should remand him in prison, rather. Yeah. All for elections. Because of these 2023 elections. Right? I'll take you to that Atiku presser now. Was he talking about him being almost killed in fighting for democracy? The old line.
Against dictators. During the military regime, it nearly cost me my life again and the near decimation of my businesses. In the civilian administration, it had serious adverse implications on my political life. But I have remained undoubted because I was and still convinced that the only reason why I am in politics is to work in tandem with other compatriots in the advancement of the well-being of our people. The 2023 presidential election presented our nation and its people the greatest opportunity for a reset. We had everything going for us: a legal framework in the 2022 Electoral Act and the Beavers technology. The enthusiasm of Nigerians to turn out and in large numbers was an added bonus. However, the dreams and aspirations of Nigerians who braved all the challenges to go and cast their votes on Saturday, 25th of February 2023, were shattered by the conduct of the Independent National Electoral Commission, which failed woefully to live up to expectations. The weekend election was neither free nor fair. Preliminary assessments indicate that it is the worst conducted election since the return to democratic rule. The manipulation and fraud that attended this election was unprecedented in the history of our nation. I can still not understand why the electoral empire was in such a hurry to conclude collation and announcement of the results, given the number of complaints and irregularities of bypassing of the Beavers, failure of uploading to the IRV, and unprecedented cancellations and disfranchisement of millions of voters in breach of the Electoral Act and the Commission's own guidelines. It was indeed a a rape of democracy. Having consulted with leaders of our party who are seated here with me, and Nigerians from different walks of life, I have come to the conclusion that the processes and outcome of the presidential and national assembly elections of last Saturday was grossly flawed in every material particular, and as such must be challenged by all of us. This has been attested to by both local and international observers. Just as I was about to enter this conference hall, the chairman and I read an Austrian report, news report, that the Nigerian drug baron has emerged as the president of Africa. I want to believe that this was not the legacy that President Muhammadu Buhari has promised. For President Buhari, it is not too late to make amends for the good of our country and the future generations, and indeed to assure his legacy. This battle to right the wrongs of Saturday is not about me at all. It is not about me. It is about you, and it is about the future of those of you who are seated here. It is also a continuation of my battles to deepen democracy and for a better life for our people. It is about the future of Nigerian youths. I know that Nigerians, especially the youth, are traumatized by the development. But I want to urge them to conduct themselves peacefully. Like I have done over the years, I assure you that I will commit the rest of my life in ensuring that true democracy, which affirms the supremacy of your votes and your will take firm footing and guarantee a stable, prosperous, and peaceful Nigeria. This is more so as Nigeria represents the whole of Africa and the black world. It is my hope that the judiciary will redeem itself this time around and rise to the society's expectation as the last hope of our people. In the end, who wins is not as important as the credibility of our elections and electoral processes. I call on all men and women of goodwill to join hands with us in the vanguard to defend our Constitution from the brigandage of anti-democratic forces. Finally, I urge Nigerians to remain vigilant and resolute. You have the constitutionally guaranteed right of freedom to choose your leaders. We will not, and I repeat, we will not sit idly by and watch your rights taken from you.
Atiku, enough reading. So I want him to speak directly when they ask him questions, okay? Tunapa, Baba, I am still coming there. I mean, the tribal war going on because of the Lagos elections, Yorubas versus Igbos and all of that, I'm coming to that part, We'll just finish with this Atiku part. Then we'll get to Lagos. I'm actually interested in that conversation. A lot of you are actually seeing what do you call it? chronic bigotry, tribalism, racism. You are all witnessing what this can do, yeah? It was the same last week. And if you ask me, majority of them, apart from the noise you are seeing on social media, right? Let us be honest. Let's be honest. Last week, okay, they played this tribal thing. So you will think, and I actually believe that if INEC had declared Obi as the winner, if they did everything right, that ammagedon that has been temporarily suspended now would have been activated, because a lot of them would never believe it. Because some still didn't believe that Obidients would put up that kind of show. Me personally didn't believe it too. And that is why when I look at those who are now like masturbating over the fraudulent elections as expected, I just know that, listen, shame has different meaning to different Nigerians. Let's be honest, okay? They are not many. They're just noise. Okay, I think they have allowed them to spend the old money now. So maybe if they get paid, Baba, if they get paid, maybe they will come out now. These guys are just social media crickets. I expected them to come out in their millions, in their Lagos, to save Lagos, from those who wanted to come and take over Lagos. But guess what? They were relying on the violence. They were relying on the rigging. They were relying on the intimidation. So if we ask ourselves, how did that go? Let's be honest though. Their bigotry blinded them so even their leaders are bigoted. They are working to disenfranchise Igbos. But if you are a Yoruba, you have no problem. Yoruba, you know, as a Yoruba, you are not Omali. So they didn't focus on their Yorubas. And Lagos State, which is populated by different tribes from the Yoruba ethnic nationality, the Aworizo, and the rest of us there. So they ignore them. 75% of the population of Lagos is Yorubas. So they ignore them because they are so bigoted. Now, when they started counting the votes, now then they realize, say, where did this one come from? Here you get. It seems that they haven't learned any lesson. They are still relying on that violence, as well as intimidation, and every other thing they have been using for a while. And I can bet this. I can bet my left ass, Yansh. Whatever you witnessed last week, just think about times 4 of that. The level of violence you witnessed during the presidential review, you've alerted them. Unfortunately, they are not just going to unleash the violence on Igbos, even if they disguise that, okay? They are going to unleash this violence on even the Yorubas. It is going to be all out. I'm not trying to scare you, because I see that they haven't learned anything at all. They are doubling down. The person that they want to destroy, and they are trying to they are increasing the temple of a tribalism in Lagos. What is his name again? Badebo, Vivo, something. Badebo. They are claiming that because the guy, his mom is Igbo, his dad, Omoeko, like original Omoeko for real. Sure you get. Now, because his mama is Igbo, that makes him half Yoruba, half Igbo. For election time, no, there's nothing like half Yoruba, half Igbo. This one is Igbo. In fact, his name is Chinedu. But guess those who are saying all of those, they are mostly from those Araokes, those are GIGs. The same people that even the indigenes of Lagos will say, talk about discrimination and the kind of talk down on people, right? Look at this one. Look at this Owala. Claiming land in Lagos. That's how we actually talk in Lagos, because I was born there, I was raised there. I've got family root dated back to 5 generations too in that Lagos. You know that Vivo, where they built the city hall in Lagos, the city hall of Lagos State. Well, Well, not Lagos State. The City Hall of Lagos. It was built by Lagos, not Lagos State. Anyway, that land where they built the City Hall on in Lagos is the family land of Digbadebo. That those ones who came from Iragbiji, Ikare Ekiti, Inye Ekiti are now throwing under the bus because of Kolu. So tribal, what have you? It's like racism. It is the worst of the worst kind of ignorance you can think of. It blinds people. It doesn't matter how educated they are. They are coming to take over our land as if to say they are coming with guns. Oh yeah, give us your land or your life. Your land or your life. That's how they go. But we are not yet there. Let's go back to Atiku's presser. That's another part where we're asking him questions. I mean, let's complete that before we go to Lagos. Our Lagos. Make Omo Yibo. You want to go and vote for Omo Yibo? You want to go and vote for Omo Yibo? Omo Yibo ni Gbadebo. Meanwhile, Ade Gator Omo Yeminigebu is more Lagosians than the Viva Roads. The members, those who are like members of the first parliamentary, what do you call parliament house in Nigeria, in that same Lagos. But people who came from Ragbiji, Kare, Akoko, Yano, Woro, in whatever. But we'll come to that. Let's go back to that presser. Okay.
That pursuing this cause, we are likely to get justice from the system as it is right now. Or do you have any doubt that there are issues that you want to consider around the judiciary? Thank you.
Thank you. That's the end of the question series. Now we will call on the presidential candidate to respond accordingly. Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, about the Labour Party, whether at the time Peter decided to leave PDP and join Labour Party, we had not, I believe, begun our primary process. So the question of whether he was going to get a ticket or not, did not arise. Yes, agreed, that is a fact. He took our votes from the southeast and south-south. And that, of course, would not make him a president. Sure. You all know that to be a president in this country, you need votes from everywhere. So, as far as I'm concerned, Peter is welcome to dialogue with PDP. We are ready to dialogue with him. So I don't think we will have any problem if he wants to dialogue with PDP. Either form an alliance or not. But I also want you to recall that I was the first candidate to say that because of the way Nigeria has been governed in the last 7 to 8 years, there has been deep divisions between North and South, East and West. And I said to Nigerians, if I happen to be elected president, the first thing I would do is to form a government of national unity. What do I mean by that? I mean, I will look at the performance of each political party and bring them into the government. So that first and foremost, we reunify this country and bring about peace and stability. It is only when you do that, then you will be able to start developing the country, whether economically or otherwise. You cannot develop a country that is deeply divided, that is in crisis. So I was the first to commit to the formation of government of national unity. And I also have it on record that when I ran in 2019, I picked an Igbo man as a simply because I felt that after any other zone again, the next zone must be the south. In 2011, I also picked another Igbo man. And in 2023, I also picked another Igbo man. And I have always said that I will be a stepping stone to an Igbo presidency. Because there is no zone alone in this country that can produce a president on its own. I have always told my Igbo compatriots, I said, look, you negotiate for power. You don't fight for it. You negotiate for it. So, for anybody to think, that I have anything against Labour, I think Peter was in a rush. Do you know why I say he was in a rush? When the campaign started, and our PDP governors sat down and said they must produce the president amongst them. They must produce a vice president amongst them. They must produce a chief of staff amongst them. Peter got scared and left. I did not get scared. I stood up against the governors. When we formed this PDP, some of them perhaps were in secondary school or university. So why should I be afraid? So I stood up and I fought them. They fought me, yes, and I fought them. And I won the primaries. So if he was there, nothing could have stopped him from becoming, a running mate. Because I had the right to choose whoever I wanted, as my running mate. So the question of whether I would work with Peter or not, whether Peter wounded PDP, yes, to some extent he did. Because all the votes he carried, there are PDP votes in the south and the southeast. So that's true. But that's politics anyway. But whether he will achieve his objective, by that or not, that is left to God to decide. So the next is the issue of judiciary. For those of you who don't read, because I know you young people now, it's only computer, on the phone, everything. You don't read textbooks. You must remember that I took my boss, the sitting president, to court 11 times. 11 times from trial court up to Supreme Court. I swear, if there is a Quran here, I swear I never saw any judge from the trial court up to the Supreme Court. And yet I got judgments against a sitting president. Do you think it is possible today to do it? Abba, let us tell ourselves the truth, madam. "11 times from trial court up to Supreme Court. Wallahi, I never saw a single judge. I've got judgment at the trial court, I've got judgment at the appeal court, and I've got judgment at the Supreme Court. That's why I said, how will I do this? That's why I decided to publish a book called Landmark Constitutional Cases, the Atiku and Peter cases, for those constitutional law students. So, I cannot say whether it is the same judiciary or not until I test them.
I'll save you the rest. I think you've heard enough, if I must confess. But let me tell you something. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't be optimistic. There's going to be different dramas. There's going to be different breaking news. There's going to be some buzz headlines. Until it happens, right? I can tell you this. The Nigeria factor, those who planned the rigging for Tinubu, they planned all the way. I can promise you that for free. The system that got exposed, this corrupt system that I've been telling you all about all this while, right? That some of you are beginning to actually understand why. The system that allowed them to do this rigging, yeah, that we've seen the videos, seen all of these evidences, right? Put them together, take them to that same court. The same system is planned all the way. They are going to do swearing in for Kolu on the 29th of May. Of course, a lot of you are going to be hooked on the court case. The reason why we know one fight is because of the court. Somebody said that first, Peter Obi will lose the INEC will rig the election and they will declare Tinubu. Then after that, DSS will arrest Tinubu on the day of inauguration because they will declare, come on, see, I know a lot of people are painting different scenario in your head, okay? Shori Oro Nigeria, when it comes to Nigeria, the worst is over for these criminals. Everything right now is under control for them until you have to prove us wrong again. Protest to revolution, no fighting this or that, to every other thing. No, you are just going to be part of the drama until they will wear you out. You see that energy until they wear them out. And you will no longer be interested. It is Nigeria factor, my dear brother. Again, it is not to discourage you because I have probably never walked in your shoes, okay? The system that did this, it is not by happenstance. It is not by accident. It was all planned. Now that there was no uproar after it, everything else is under control. Ask Wiki. He said, my contract with Kolu is over. The power has returned to the southern Nigeria. That's what they wanted. I have stopped Atiku. Now, we can pretend that nothing happened. Yeah, Wiki. It was in Ibadan. Do you want to hear that?
This very important projects. I'm not surprised with the performance of Sheyi Makinde. You can only belong to G5, stand your feet on the ground because you know what you are doing. It's only those who are afraid, who have nothing to offer, that cannot stand firm and be bold and take a decision and say that we must put things right. It doesn't matter who is involved. Their governor has shown that he has the capacity, has shown he's a man he can depend on, has shown that he's a man that will not tolerate complete slavery. I'm happy he's one of those that have made history by making sure power shifts to the south. I have told people that those who fight for change, those who fight for revolution, may not be direct beneficiaries of that fight. But today, history has it that all of us now are aware that when power finishes from the south, it will go to the north. When it finishes from the north, it will come to the south. So it does not need to be written in any constitution at all before it is implemented. And I thank Nigerians for standing firm to see that this materialized. See, you've done quite a number of things. Somebody has said here that you're humble. Your own humility is infectious. but you are very dangerous. You're very humble. Very dangerous. And so you should like people like me who will talk than somebody who is not talking. When you see his action, you say, is this Sheyi really? So let me expose you to the people. Be careful that he doesn't talk. When he bites you, I don't think there's any doctor that will be able to bring you out. What you've done today, somebody may ask, why is he doing this? He's the governor of Oyo State. He wants the economy of his people to improve. Look at the airport, the VIP lounge. These things are supposed to be the responsibility of the federal government. Look at the airport road, named after our elder statesman. It's supposed to be the responsibility of federal government. I've heard the regional manager saying that he wants more. He wants more. Tell federal government to refund the state the money they have invested here. Or they should hands off and hand over the airport to them. Hand over the airport to them. You cannot be spending state money at the same time you are the one controlling the airport. That is not. And that's what we're talking about. True federalism. That's what we're talking about. Restructuring. Certain things that federal government giving to themselves, but will not perform anyone. All they do at the end of every month, collect the highest percentage of the funds, and then begin to do all kinds of things. I thank God Supreme Court today has told them that the old money remains valid till December. So if you still have your old money, use it. The highest court of the land has said so. Too bad for the governor of Central Bank. He has no choice. There's no any other directive that will override the judgment of Supreme Court. So I'm happy. You have said that today will be the first day, which is history making, where an aircraft will take fuel from this airport.
I mean, just so you know anyway. So it's also a long stretch, and I don't think some of you have the patience listening to him blabbing about and all that. Okay, got to a stage where he said, our contract has finished with Kolu. So Sheyi Makinde is now on the 11th, right? It's now PDP all the way. Anyway, talking about Lagos, okay, and talking about, I mean, you know that Lagos has been ruled for 24 years by APC. By the way, it is also known as the most dangerous city to raise a child or raise a family or to live in as well in the whole of Africa. I didn't make that up. Now, it is a system that serves the interest of a servitude, opportunist, and then, you know, freeloaders like the guy like this lady you have on your screen. Now, look at this lady. She is a product of Tifnumbu's political academy. She is a member of Lagos State House of Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, right? 2.5 years ago, when the pandemic struck, and almost everyone felt the pang, as people were, you know, dying under that dreaded disease, virus, so to say. These guys were cashing out. I'll tell you, right? The whole world started contributing money to supposed poor countries. So Nigeria government received donation that was over $5 billion. Put everything together, naira and dollar and euro and everything. Over $5 billion. They were supposed to use that money to support the Nigerians that have been locked up. You know, the lockdown, rather. Lockdown. COVID-19 lockdown. So, then NSAS happened. When NSAS happened, And this guy on your screen, Maazi Ade Gator, Governor Point and Kill. Yeah, Sonweku, by the way, who invited the soldiers to shoot at the Lagos residents, the young people protesting at the time, and they shot the old toll gate. When they did that, 2 days after that, the entire Nigeria political, what do you call it, secrets got exposed, and Lagos states and Lagosians were not spared. Okay? Palliative meant for poor people have been either locked up in different warehouses or already shared to APC, Egbekegbe party leaders, including the governor, deputy governor, commissioners, personal advisors, assistants, House of Assembly members, and shockingly or not, or maybe not so shockingly, the Oba Lagoon, former police officer, a criminal police officer who became the king in Lagos, appointed by Kolu Tifnumbu. Omona, so that they find palliative inside Oba's palace. Or more, that they store money inside coffin. Including medicals, including small medicals that you could give to people like paracetamols and some painkillers and all that stuff. Charity organizations that are visiting Lagos Island, all of the donated charity stuff that were supposed to be given to people, they found them inside the palace of Eleko Akinolu Oba Lagoon. They were not found by other people than the young people, the children of Lagos Island. You remember the video and all that? The same criminals who did all of that are today shouting, our Lagos, our Lagos, our Lagos, our Lagos. I mean, it's all right. Okay, it's okay. People love their chains, and then I just wish they have the numbers. As much as they are thugs, illiterate, miseducated, uneducated, right? And they're fitting into that army, obviously, right? They are just the same victims of the same people they want to defend. And it's all right. It's just that don't point fingers at other people while you are defending people who put you in the same mess. I mean, let's be for real, right? 3 years ago, one after the other, right? Palliative in Lagos, so richest state in Nigeria, led by Tifnumbu Kolu, as well as his mentally deranged, political office holders, drug addicts. I didn't say all of these things, right? They are just there. They are public records, okay? Let me take you back 3 years ago. To that same Lagos, same Lagos.
See them. Everybody is carrying. Even military too, they carry. Are you seeing them? Now they are, oh God, Nigeria. Well, me, I've already carried my own, no.
Here you get. Nigerians are also like their leaders. Here you get, Somebody told me a story. He said, it was actually a joke, but it's real, right? Somebody said that somebody was complaining that, man, you see this country, this Nigeria. I mean, this country can never be good again. Baba, what happened? Calm down. What happened? Can you believe that in this same country, that some people are working to make better? Some other people are working to destroy. Baba, what happened? Tell us what happened. You see, somebody walked into my store and made a huge purchase. How is that a problem? Wait now. And they paid me. I said, how much? I said, they ordered the goods worth over 280,000 naira. Well, that's good. Is that not a good thing? Well, it's meant to be good. And they paid me cash. Oh, lucky you. What happened? But can you believe that? That person paid me 280,000 naira cash, and 250,000 of that money is fake money. Oh my God. 250,000 fake money. I'm so sorry. This country can never be great again. I agree with you. How could anybody walk into somebody's shop and pay with fake money? How about the fake money? Do you have the fake money? Can I see them? No. Why? What happened? I've spent them to another person. Oh, you've spent the money. Of course. Do you want me to keep fake money? I have to spend it and buy other things too. Is that not how it goes round? Until it stops at someone who can't change the money, and that will be the one who will cry longer. Nigerians don't hate crimes, okay? Let me tell you this. Majority of Nigerians, they don't hate criminals or crime, oppression or oppressors. They don't hate them. They're just not happy that they are not the ones doing the oppression. If you actually ask deep down. So people need something to justify their own bias and prejudices and all that, which is also okay. But when you are caught, come on, stop pointing fingers and say, what about you? You unko? Are you a saint? Are you holy? People just need somebody to justify their own criminal life. Do you get that? Right? Politicians who claim to be working for them, looting them, and then a few months or few years later, they want to be like them. Trust me, 3 years ago, the same people that will tell you that our Lagos, see, now fake, now expired food that was supposed to have been given to them months back that they only discovered when hunger pushed all of them outside their homes.
Warehouse lele yo, lọ́dọ̀ wa ó ti já warehouse o. Àwọn boys ń pa lọ́wọ́ báyìí o. Owó tí mátámásá wọ́n pa lọ́wọ́ báyìí o. Ọlọ́run nísọ yóò fi ṣeré o. Ó wà nílẹ̀ bí. Wọ́n lè kó tán. Wọ́n lè kó tán. Ó sì wà nínú o. Géètì ló sì ń já lọ́wọ́ báyìí o. Ó wà nínú o. Ọmọ yìí bá lọ́wọ́ báyìí o. Ọmọ yìí bá lọ́wọ́ báyìí o. Gbogbo COVID-19 lọ ti já àwọn ẹ̀rí sí báyìí o. Gbogbo COVID-19 lọ ti já sí ìgbàgbọ́ fún fọ́nrán yọ. Wọ́n jẹ́ kí o. Ọmọ yìí já báyìí o.
They are the same people who are now shouting our Lagos anyway, yeah? Let me show you another one. I think this.
Hey.
Our Lagos. If Tinubu did not develop Lagos, so these people will come here and they will be shouting here. If these people, they come here to take over our land. They want to come and, but these same people are the same treating you. They are treating you like slaves in your land. Can't you see that? Your children are not being given a good and proper education. Your young people are not being given proper opportunities to explore jobs, things that should make them feel human. I mean, come on. They should go to Anambra. I mean, do you actually listen to how you are sounding? Do you? No? Because I remember in that same period, though, some people choose not to give their own palliative to government in Lagos State, as corrupt as they are. I mean, for example, the people that you claim were coming to take over your land. On record, though, they did this, especially in Alabama, international rights. Take a look. I mean, in that same Lagos, that same year, it was a very terrible one. I mean, they shot people because they are carrying bag of rice, honestly. Yeah, they killed people for carrying bag of rice, carrying a box of noodles. Because they were locked down for months. Nobody gave a damn. Politicians have shared their palliatives. They have rebranded them. That lady was actually using some of them as souvenir for our own birthday party. Like, it was boldly written on those cartons, not to be sold. But my mama still package them as palliative, COVID-19. Boldly written on it. On them, COVID. And today, because of Kolu, people are actually making threats like this. Look at this guy.
Oh my God, this is Lagos. I'm telling you, tell your governor, whatever you are, be anything. Labor. Toba binyure. Ewadibo fun labor leko. This is Lagos, oh. This is Lagos. Sheno lori ibu ni. Tribalism kill you there. If them born you people well, come and vote for labor in Lagos. It's either Sanwo-Olu or nobody. Labor for this Lagos, my labor kuni. You this tribal bigot. Come vote. Say that bad Bob in name. If them boy your mama well, come be Lagos State Governor. Ever show for money.
You know they've gotten the federal power now. All of you should be. You better brace up. Brace up, oh. Are you with me? Because at this point, I don't think. I don't think anybody can save anybody at this time. Let's go perish, go just perish. Let them perish. Okay? So sad, This is going to be your reality. I'm so sorry. Take a look at this too.
Orúkọ tèmi ni Gani Ayinde ọmọ Oyedepo tí mo máa wọ́n sí Zagaza. Adúpẹ́ lónìí pé à ń ṣàjọyọ̀ àwọn ilé ọ̀gá olú ọmọ Èkó kan Àyìndé kan. Ṣé rí kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé inú mi dùn. Ṣé gbogbo àwọn tó ń bú wa kọ́ máa bú wa. Àmọ́ àwọn kan wà tó bá bú wa Ọlọ́run á bí wọn. Ẹ máa orúkọ Kẹ́mi Afọlábí jáde jà sí rédèrèdè náà dọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ tí ò jẹ́ kankan nú ayé. Ìyẹn ń bú àwa. Àwọn onísọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run máa bí. Àbẹ̀ní àbádùn ni tí ò mọ eré ṣe. Tó ti lè kó ní English film yẹn tí ẹ náà sọ̀rọ̀ sí wa ìyẹn onídọ̀tí èèyàn àwọn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ aṣíwájú àwọn ló wá ṣe rálì fún Olúọmọ kò sí pé owó Olúọmọ fi pè wọ́n gbogbo àwọn tó wá pátá kò sí owó Olúọmọ fi pè wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Ọlọ́run lára aṣíwájú ni wọn wá bó Olúọmọ ṣe torí aṣíwájú ni wọ́n wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ kó wọ́n lè fún yàn 100,000 mọ́ èkì sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ tí bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ wà á kọ̀ lọ kú dànù Olóòrùn ìkọ́lé kan wá sọ ni pé ẹ̀yin méjì ẹ má pàdé mi o àdúrí àdé àti wèrè tó pé ẹni Kẹ́mi Afọlábí ẹ sáà dúró àjọwádé station ni torí jọ́ tó bá ti mú ẹ wà á mọ̀ èmi ò ní ju gbogbo àwọn tẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn ó ti yẹ ó ti ẹ̀ dídí pé kíní kan wọ́n máa kó ẹ lọ́gbọ́n àwájọ lọ station pé pé àwọn ló fẹ́ máa fi ta yín lórí kíní oníbàjẹ́ fún gbogbo aṣíwájú máa túlù ṣe ìlú ìdẹ́ máa da àwọn afọwọ́sọ̀ pé aṣíwájú máa túlù yìí ṣe ó ti yẹ orúkọ tèmi ò ní padà ẹ ṣáà mọ̀.
Now so, is going to be. Those are going to be the lords above the law. If they grab any of you where they talk anyhow, including me, Mayegun, if they grab Mayegun like this, before they take me to police station, you know how they do? They will first beat the hell out of you, beat you like you won't die. They will now take you to police station and say, look at this guy, he insulted as you are, lock him up. Lock her up. That's the future you are coming to, for those who actually know them very well. For those who have been forced to go and pay respect to these characters across Lagos, all of you, suit and tie. Yeah. So many of you are under all of these guys. There are many of you that where you wanted to have your business, if they don't give their blessing, even if they give you certificate from Abuja, you no go do that business anywhere. Trust me. If you want to build any house anywhere in Lagos, if you don't pay these miscreants, or get cleared by them and their surrogates, you know they build any house. Even if your papa na commissioner of police, they will tell you to go and pay them. Trust me. That is the life there in Lagos that some of you are secretly living with. And then when your bigoted mind covers your face, you started spitting and spewing gibberish. Gibberish that you have been so accustomed to. I have one advice for you. Listen, don't be like Mayegun. It is my own kind of hobby, right? To break down all of the political happenings, the players, and what they are doing on here. Don't be like Mayegun. As it is, in fact, hang on, there is actually one I want to share too before I continue. As some of them are doing what they are doing as we speak, yeah? The Igbos in Lagos, they call them the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo. They have decided to go and pay homage to Kolu. And they just have to. They've got their businesses, they've got their houses that they didn't get from forcing anybody to leave their land and all that, okay? So they had to go and pay homage to Kolu earlier. Mind you, take a look. They just had to. Sure you get now. So, what I wanted to say there is that don't be like Mayegun. Okay? It's my job to do political analysis, political this or that, keep you updated and all that. Don't spend your day and night on social media. Make your number count. Okay? It's not by threatening people or intimidating them and all of that. That didn't work. See your man. He has started dressing like Igbo, as if to say, now the Igbos voted against him in Lagos. He has called them to a dinner. Come, let's have a dinner together. Here you get. As if to say, now the Igbos voted against him in Lagos. He's still being advised wrongly. You are still doing your WhatsApp meeting, telling everybody with your blind bigotry, you are telling everybody that they must stop the Igbos. But when you look at all of those who participated in your elections, right? As much as you try to cut them off, from the data collected, Baba, over 80% of them are Yorubas. Honestly. Or just nothing to do with Igbo, what do you call it, Igbo heritage or what have you in Lagos. But you are still parroting these Igbos, bigotry. These Igbos, you are disgracing us on social media. You these Olori Brukus. I want you to put all your mouth into something like a number. I know what you are relying on is threatening people, using violence, buying voters. But what I want to see is that at least for the first time, here you get, leave social media. Go and vote for Sonweiku. Stop making him feel good when he reads all your posts on social media. Stop attacking people. Here you get. It's not working. Have you not noticed? You threatened people. As much as you are claiming to be the owners of Lagos, 22 million people in Lagos, so only 200,000 people voted for Kolu. Valid vote, so. That means threatening people, intimidating them. It's not working. And it's not likely going to work for you as well on Saturday. Except if you triple or quadruple it. But again, I just believe that it's not working, Sha. In my own opinion. The guy that they said that, I don't have his image or anything about him anyway, but some of you probably know him better, yeah? So the guy is a Lagosian, in Papa, then trace in Papa to as far back as 1880. You dey hear me? When Lagos was there, a trading colony or a trading post for the British directorate at the time. There was no Nigeria. Here you get. Because of politics, so some of these Agberos from Okera, Okeho, Iragbeji, as well as all these places, so they are now planting this seed of tribalism, bigotry, Yoruba this, Yoruba versus Igbo, Igbo versus Yoruba, Yoruba. Always on the election time, don't wait till they pay you so that you don't come back later and be looking for people to attack the shop to lock up. You are locking their shops. Do you not even like learn? You are locking them out of their shop for not voting for APC. Their fellow traders, you are opening the shops for the Yorubas, those who are non-Igbos. Are you actually thinking? Are you? Of course you are not. Just hope you not come back here in a few days and start lamenting like this in your WhatsApp group, okay? Go out and vote. Do the number. Go. Violence may not work for you again, no. It didn't work for you then. It won't work again, no. The way I'm saying it, oh, I'm just saying, I'm just observing. But how could you be threatening people in a democracy that they should do? Like, normal.
Almost all of you. And you bad betrayal, many betrayals. Many things. So I can share for the boy. Share. I come pila yara in kodero lara ino. Bibi oni ya ni gbogbo yin. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ jáwọ́ nínú òṣì yìí. Kó má gba ìlú mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́.
Wèrè tó sọ̀rọ̀ sí tó sọ pé àwọn APC agent wo àwọn tó jẹ́ leader gọgọgọgọ ò lọ bá wọn ṣé owó tó ní kọ́kọ́ fáwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ gan wọn kò fún wọn dípò bóyá agent àbí àwọn aráàta ṣé labour tó ń wọlé ṣé ó náwó ni ṣó náwó ni ẹ̀dẹ̀ ká sọ̀rọ̀ tọrọ síbi tọrọ wa kí ni wọ́n kọ́ fáwọn agent tí wọ́n fi jíṣẹ́ ìwọ gan ṣé ò ti gbàgbàgbàgbà bóyá wọn wá rántí ẹ̀ mọ́ sí ilẹ̀kùn wa bá ẹ kó ṣì lọ́jọ́.
That should remind you, na jeje I go sit down here where everything just they fall on my laps. Sure you get, and you will come back here and be like, hey, it's always the same. It's always the same. But again, it is your business. I am just here to keep the record, Abby. Somebody like Dino probably would have to find another job. The court jester job that he's been doing for Atiku may no longer be lucrative. Okay? And from what I picked earlier from Dino, in reactions to all that happened, for your own comical relief, because I'm rounding up soon. Kennery Dino.
Fellow countrymen and women, I salute you in the course of our nation's history, and I salute you in the name of the struggle. Our country is bleeding. The soul and spirit of our nation is crying for justice, crying for righteousness, and crying for vengeance. Mahmoud Yakubu, professor, stabbed the very soul of Nigeria when he graduated from having inconclusive election in his first term. He has graduated to overvoting in his second term in office. In the first term, the PDP and opposition parties were disenfranchised and disillusioned by the concept of inconclusive elections. The new strategy adopted by Mahmoud Yakubu now is overvoting. 90% of the states' result that was presented announced overvoting. Strongholds of the PDP, they declared overvoting and cancelled results in those areas. I have done a computation of all the overvotings recorded, amounted to over 2 million votes. But because they do not want the margin of cancelled votes to be more than the margin of winning, they reduced it to 900 and something. But it is a fallacious lie. It is a malicious lie. It will not stand. I want to announce to Bola Ahmed Tinubu that your victory is temporal and evaporative. I repeat again, your victory is temporal and evaporative. We will upturn that stolen mandate. And the battle to salvage Nigeria from these economic cankerworms and financial scavengers, from these demons in power, for us is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. We will do everything within legal means. We will do everything assisted by God Almighty to make sure that the mandate of the people freely given to Atiku Abubakar is retrieved. We spent over 400 billion naira just for a caricature show. INEC deceived Nigerians. President Muhammadu Buhari and Professor Yakubu Mahmoud, they are the greatest. Buhari and Professor Yakubu Mahmoud, they are the greatest con men that came out of Africa. The whole concept of redesigning Naira was a deception because monies were given to Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC shared new notes across the country on election day, while PDP was starved of funds. So the issue of going to court, accusing Emefiele, was all part of the scam, was all part of the drama, was all part of deception, a grand style of deception against Nigerians. But I want to warn that this is not the end. This is not the end. Justice at the end of the day shall prevail, because weeping may tarry for until night, but joy cometh in the morning. The Holy Book said, shall we continue in sin and ask grace to abound? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. I call on all PDP supporters all over the country and all lovers of democracy not to allow this to stand in an unjust society.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
Go, I don't want to call anybody then. Go, I don't want to call anybody then.
Right. That's Dino. There's one more thing I want to add just before we leave here, okay? Whatever you think of the elections and all of that, okay? Whatever your fear, all I have told you before now is that you should manage your expectations, right? Now, if you had to manage your expectations, some of what is happening right now, they will really kind of freak you. I can tell you a lot of you had high hope on that election. I wish I could just say I'm sorry that was a waste. A lot of you still have hope that something is going to happen. You know, and all of that I expect and all that, okay? Yeah, great. I am not here to discourage you. But do you know something? Nigeria is so bad, yeah, that there are some young people who have made career out of, right, defending every horrible thing that you might have or known to or associate with what is wrong with Nigeria right now. Do you remember this guy? This guy is in Abuja. So whenever you organize protest and say Buhari must go, he will lead a protest and say Buhari must stay. When Transparency International who are those people again? Or not Transparency International, Amnesty International. You know, you remember when Amnesty International was like, they wrote this scathing article criticizing Boko Haram's government and the country and all of that stuff on human rights. And then they picket the office of Amnesty International in Abuja. You know, remember that young guy? When you were doing NSAS, he also organized rally to say, the people of Abuja bag you people. He's not from Abuja. He organized a rally and said the indigenous people of Abuja are against any rally in Abuja. That's his own career. And every day when they finish, they will share money, like to people who actually attended. That is how he made his own career in this whole mess created by APC. The guy is out with a verdict. In fact, he's no longer looking skinny like me, tiny like me anymore. He seems to have grown up like, to have fattened up like, because Bokwari and INEC has conducted the best election that Nigeria has ever seen in their lives. Anybody that is against that election is enemy of Nigeria. Ashwaju is going to be this or that. Young people. And there are millions of them who have signed up for something like this. You can't change their mind. Stop trying.
To what INEC has been able to achieve so far so good. This is the first time in Nigeria that we have had this kind of election. And to be honest, anybody who does not appreciate what Professor Mahmoud and all the INEC have done, the person is not being fair and does not have Nigeria at heart. What they are saying is that we are coming out in solidarity to tell Professor Mahmoud that we are in support of him with the Nigerian youth. From the FCT, we have seen where he has cancelled elections, where election never hold. And we have said that, look, we understand that they are honest. And the election and the process was transparent enough for every Nigerian. Anybody questioning it does not have Nigeria at heart. We are coming in solidarity to further strengthen Professor Mahmoud that he owes Nigeria. There's a legacy he owes Nigeria. He must leave a legacy. I want to remind him that after man, there is God who he will answer to. And today, we want him to understand that the mandate of Nigerians, their thumbprint, will be a curse if he does not stand on his word. The thumbprint of Nigerians will be a curse to him and his generation if he does not stand and support Nigerians for what they have done. Whatever Nigerians have voted, declare the result within your conscience and your God. Am I speaking your mind? Yes.
Lomo. Before, no, his voice was like so tiny, like that of mine, like somebody will see they look for. But now he's a big boy. He drives nice car now, like for real. That's his own career. Protester for hire. If you need protesters for hire in Abuja, what do they call him? I think he has a name. Somebody said Ijele. I don't know if that's his name. I don't know his name. But he's a popular face, okay? If you are looking for those who are like, telling you that you are wrong, you are not paying attention. Buhari has done so well. If not for Buhari, all of you go down there, Kirimanje of Nigeristan. Now, Buhari kept you safe. And there are characters like that. Where do you start from? Without messing up with your own mental health. Where do you think you're going to start from? You have to deal with those with guys like that. I'm just saying, they are there and they will always be there. But in the words of Professor Lumumba,
I did not go to school that I vote individuals because they come from my ethnic group. Tell me their agenda on health, their agenda on agriculture, so that if I vote for them, it should just be coincidental that we come from the same ethnic extraction. You have been given an opportunity to elect. You elect a hyena to take care of goats, and then when the goats have been eaten, you wonder why. I did not.
You have elected a hyena to take care of the goats, and when the goats goes missing or the hyena eat the goats, you are wondering why. Anyway, thank you very much for your time this evening. I wish I could take some calls, but I'm going to see you some other time. Okay. And if you have spent your evening this far with me, I advise that don't forget to leave your own offering, like the broadcast, okay? and I'm going to see you some other time. So until then, stay safe and good night. I'm so sorry. I believe you all feel like, no, come on, Mayegun, don't go. I know. I'll see you some other time. Okay? Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gba rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní
ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.